If you're a woman with ADHD and you have felt isolated, alone for a long time, then this message is for you. Today, we're going to work with the Crone Archetype, and we are going to dig into an important message that you need to hear at this time. This is your friendly reminder. If you're catching the replay, you can always 2x your speed or click the timestamps below to jump straight to the message. Before we begin, I want to tell you about some of the energies that I was dealing with before going live, and also some signs that I was seeing this morning. So first, actually, these signs started yesterday. So the song Dixieland Delight by Alabama, Good Directions by Billy Currington, and Write This Down by George Strait. Two of those songs I heard yesterday, and they really were calling out to me. So I was like, okay, these are going to be important for tomorrow. And then this morning, Write This Down came on its own when I was re-listening to those songs to kind of like see if there was anything I needed to talk about. So something about writing down your intentions. Maybe you keep a diary. And then also the letter D. So Dixieland Delight has a bunch of D's. Write This Down has a D. I don't know if your name starts with a D, but also when I was working with the cards, working with the Crone Archetype before going live, the 6 of Cups came out along with the 4 of Cups, the Shadow card, and the 5 of Wands. But specifically on the 6 of Cups, one of the cups had daisies in them. And so the daisy stood out to me. So again, with the D's, there's a heavy emphasis on the letter D. Some other things that you might be experiencing, new things, trying new things. So just before coming into the office, went and got some coffee at a new place I've never been before. And normally I would get a mocha latte, but today I decided to try something different. And I'm glad I did, because the mocha latte was nasty and mine was really good. So maybe you're trying new things and that's not like you. And then also marshmallows may be important. Some other things that I heard were cycles, things clearing out. And then I heard the term alone no more. All right. Before we go any further, I also want to read the guidebook for the shadow work card. It's an extra card in this deck. So we're going to read. This card represents the unconscious, repressed aspects of the self, often indicating a need to confront and integrate hidden desires and fears to achieve wholeness. So this number is 0. That's the same as the Fool. So this is definitely the number of possibility, right? The planet is the moon. So maybe dream work might be important for you. And then the element is earth. So the shadow traits to explore were delusional versus realistic. And that one hit me a little bit hard right now. A lot of my dreams are very delusional, but I'm also very realistic and trying to achieve them. So maybe you're struggling with that. And then some of the challenges that you could experience if you're repressing this energy, the shadow work energy, is being confused. If you're irrational, having bad relationships, misguided, so, not choosing the correct people to ask for advice, feeling paranoid or obsessive, narcissistic, unstable, and without progress. Now, the shadow card did come out in the upright. So this is actually what's coming through for this message. So if you accept the shadow card, you're going to have confidence, act logical, and have rational thinking, enjoy harmonious relationships, have trust, calm, and humility, and you're going to be experiencing progressive things in your life. So it's very interesting that I said there are going to be cycles and you're going to have clearing. So that's progress, progression. And here's some journal prompts you can work with. So are you examining your thoughts and worries? Or are you just letting them loop, right? Are you just constantly worrying? Are you saying, hey, do I even have a reason to be worried about this? One thing that I started doing, I don't remember where I learned this from, was really digging into the fear. So for example, when I lost my job, one of the fears I had was, oh my God, we're going to go homeless. We're not going to be able to pay our bills. We're going to lose our house. Well, something you can do is say, okay, if that were to happen, how would that play out? Literally live the worst day, live it out. And I was like, okay, well, I guess we would either move in with my parents or move in with somebody else in our family. Maybe we would rent the house out and not lose it. So we would still be able to keep it, but just not live there. And right away, immediately, I felt so much better because I'm like, we will always find a way. You will always find a way. So don't let anxiety and worry freak you out, okay? You can always work through everything. And the reason it gets so scary is because we don't dig into it. We just let it be this big monster in the corner. Okay. Is it possible that something you believe is not true? Again, what was I saying? Don't believe the fears. Are you bringing negative energy to your relationships? And then this is the one that the question when I was reading it earlier stood out to me the most. Are you going deep enough when doing introspection? Now, this reminds me of working with therapists, because when you're working with a therapist, they'll ask you a question that's kind of challenging and you can't just brush it off. Whereas if you're working with yourself and digging inside by yourself, if you ask something that's a little bit uncomfortable, you can be like, oh yeah, I think that's it, and move on. So the shadow card is challenging you to make sure you're going deeper. You're answering those really hard questions, okay? And then, is there a part of you that feels overlooked? Well, I would guarantee that's definitely something that's happening given this reading today. An isolated woman. You definitely feel overlooked, okay? All right, I think that's everything. Did I miss anything? No. Awesome. All right, before we continue, we're going to do some breath work. This is a wonderful way for you to ground into your body, to ground into your nervous system, to reset your nervous system. I do this for myself to help me calm down when I'm going live. I can get nervous. I don't really now because I cover up the eyeball, so I don't know if anybody's watching or not. It's cheating, right? But it's a great way to get in touch with the present moment, right? We live on autopilot so much. And with the shadow work card coming out, that is definitely the card reminding you to get out of the subconscious programming, take control, and actually program what you want to happen in your life. Okay, so we're going to breathe in through the nose for 6, hold for 2, and then breathe out for 8. We'll do this 3 times. You ready? Let's begin. Very nice. Just check in with your body. Feel your shoulders. Are they tense? Is your neck tight? Is your chest heavy? If you continue to feel any of that, just keep working on your breath. Settle into now. Settle into the present moment. Okay? Oh, hello. So this is Maiden Mother Crone Tarot. I have tarot decks dedicated to each of these archetypes. An archetype is just an energy, a spirit, a way to look at the world. You know, the maiden, playful, joyful, childlike, sometimes rebellious. The mother, nurturing, grounding, responsible, sometimes over diligent, sometimes over giving. The crone, wise, right? Discernment, truth and clarity. Sometimes it hurts, a little bit blunt, right? Ancient knowing. So today we're working specifically with the crone. Crone, for this collective, what is this important message that this isolated woman with ADHD needs to hear, please? The message for the highest good, for clarity, for peace, for progress. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have the 7 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. This is very interesting because the 7 of Wands is normally much more like they're fighting. They're holding their ground, but this person is not. Why are you not focusing? There you go. This person has like their hands raised, like they're surrendering almost, but no one in the background is looking at them. They're like looking away. So that's an interesting 7 of Wands. Maybe you've isolated because you feel like people are judging you, but nobody is actually paying you any attention at all. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what comes through. You have the 3 of Cups. This reminds me of my kids. At the bottom, there's like an apple half eaten on the ground. You gonna zoom in on that, please? My kids eat like fruit and just half eat them and leave them everywhere. It's ridiculous. 5 of Wands again. This came out in my pre-work. then the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so maybe some of you are from the Appalachian Mountains. I'm hearing like Appalachia when I look at this card because of the mountains here. Maybe you live in Tennessee. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and dig into this message, and at the very end, we will pull one card from the Vagus Nerve deck to help ground this message into our bodies, to help us regulate our nervous system and carry this message forward, okay? And then at the very end, I will do personal readings for anybody that's interested. All right, so we're going to start with the Three of Cups. Oh, man, yeah. So I feel like what happened is that you were in a very tight-knit community. Whether this was your family or friends, I'm feeling more this is friends, okay? That you were really close with your friends. Now, maybe you were really into partying, or maybe the case, maybe you were this person that was so focused on working and you didn't want to, or maybe, okay, so maybe you were partying a lot with them, right? Spending a lot of time partying. But then you decided, I'm going to take my work more seriously. I want to excel in my career. I want to do whatever it is. And you decided that you weren't going to go out and stay out all night. You were going to focus on your work. You were going to rest so you could be ready in the morning. And this started causing some conflict, right? Five of Wands is all about tension and competition. So maybe your friends felt like they were competing for your attention. You were no longer pouring all of your attention into them. And there was some discontent there, right? Some tension. I always like to think about the rubber band, that it feels like it's just about to snap, that kind of energy when it comes to the Five of Wands. Now, since this did come out in our pre-work, I'm going to go ahead and pull the message from the guidebook for this, because that is a repeat card, so I think that we need to read it. And again, so one of the words that's standing out to me is chaos. So maybe because of this falling out, this tension, it created chaos in your life, and you are not one to put up with that. And so you were like, you know what? I'm not going to sit around in this type of energy. I'm just going to go and be by myself if that's what needs to happen. You isolated yourself to get out of that chaotic energy because you value your peace. You value your future, right? So it's indicating a need to work together and overcome obstacles. Yeah. So subservient versus independent. Now, one thing I was thinking too, and this definitely looks like subservient. Look, this person in the background it doesn't look like they want, like that labor does not look fun. So maybe you were carrying the emotional labor of this community, of this friend group. Maybe you were picking up the bills every time you went out. And you were getting out of that subservient energy. You're like, no, I'm going to be independent. I'm only responsible for my bill. This could have become a big financial hardship for you. So we're not going to read the shadow for this. We're just going to read the upright. So proving yourself, right? Bonding. That's nice. Physical strength. Yeah, and this card, this is not the Five of Wands, but I keep seeing this person over here that's working while these other people are just doing whatever. Success through effort. Setting priorities and healthy competition. So setting priorities is what I'm being called to say here. Now, one thing I do want to point out, like in this isolation, I wouldn't say you need to stay there forever, right? There's definitely a healthy amount of distancing that can happen, a healthy amount of hermiting when you get in the hermit energy and you are doing introspection work and you are, looking at things you want to change in your life. But again, with this Five of Wands, like you don't want to let this consume you or take over your life to where you feel like you are no longer independent and in control, that you are alone by, like you don't have a choice. You do have a choice. Now, maybe this friend group, this needs to be a ancient fact, right? A thing of the past. Maybe you do need to move on. Or maybe, again, I'm being called to write this down, that song. Maybe you need to write down some of your feelings that you've had based on what happened in this friend group and share it with them, especially with ADHD. Like, I know we have like the things we want to say and then they just leave our brain. So I love writing things down, especially when it comes to important conversations, so that you don't forget what you want to say. Like you really express your full truth. But with the Page of Pentacles coming out last, pages are all students, right? So this is very young energy. This is a new opportunity, a new growth. But with Pentacles coming, this is your life, your 3D life, your reality. Look, we have green here. I have a green office, and the plants too are green. Let's go ahead and read this card too, because why not? So you're focused on learning and developing practical skills. That's cool. And maybe some of these practical skills have to do with like interacting with other people, your people skills. Maybe it's always made you feel uncomfortable. You've always felt in competition when you're in a group of other people. Maybe you naturally draw attention because you have a very bubbly personality and other people don't like that. Or maybe you are naturally very quiet, and so you have a hard time getting a word in edgewise because people overlook you. People speak louder than you. Whatever the case may be, you're taking the time right now to really learn how to express yourself in the world, to really get the skills needed to be able to speak clearly. Yeah, with the 7 of Wands too. And hold your ground. Hold your ground. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people quiet your voice, silence your truth. Let's see. So the shadow traits to explore are lazy versus productive. And we were having a pool day yesterday with the kids, and we listened to, what is that song? The Lazy Song by Bruno Mars. Is that it? Today I don't feel like doing anything. Yeah. So maybe you're struggling with like motivation right now. Let's see. So new discoveries, good financial news, thrifty, determination, building a solid foundation. That's what I'm seeing, is like building a solid foundation, whether that's skills, a solid foundation in your career. You're really taking the time in this isolation and be like, look, I'm going to start over and I'm going to plant the right things that I want to grow. I'm not going to keep feeding the flame of this conflict and this competition. I'm going to stand in my truth with this 7 of Wands. I'm going to defend myself knowing that I have the full support of my spirit team. And as a student, I'm going to take the time to really invest what needs to be invested in this. Let's see. What do you have available to you? What do you want to grow? What did I just say? What are you going to invest in? What do you want to take care of? What do you want to see emerge in your life? Are you being critical of your choices? Oh, man, a couple of days ago, I was talking about critical Karen up in here, right? That negative self-talk, that critical voice that cuts in and is so sharp. Let's not let that happen. Don't let it take over, right? Are you being careful with your money? What do you do to increase your financial abundance? Very nice. So overall, what I'm hearing is, in this isolation, this is definitely, I wouldn't say that this is something that you wanted, but it's something that you definitely chose. So you're using this to be productive, to really reorganize your life in a way that's going to be the best for you and everyone around you, right? But I want to encourage you, don't be stuck in that, right? Look for new people to hang out with. Try to rekindle those friendships in a way that has healthy boundaries, where you can still be like, look, I want to give equally to this relationship, but I need you to step up, right? Oh no, just dropped my crystals. Sorry. Okay. We are going to pull a connection card from this Vegas Nerve deck. I'm going to take that out, that out, that out, and that out, so that we can get new cards, because, yeah, we keep getting the same cards over and over again, and I want us to have new ways to take care of our body. All right, so one card, please, to help this collective, this isolated woman with ADHD, be able to ground this new truth, to be able to step into this growth, to be able to speak their peace, hold their healthy boundaries, and to plant the seeds for the life that they want, please. That one. All right, we got half salamander. This mindful movement technique encourages gentle, slow eye movements and neck stretches. I was stretching my neck before going live. Oh my gosh, that's so wild. The sense of calm and safety it brings can lead to more relaxed and present interactions with others once the stretch is complete. This exercise promotes improved neck flexibility and relaxation. Face forward in a comfortable seated or standing position. Without turning your head, slowly shift your gaze to the right. Following this eye movement, tilt your head to the right, lowering your ear closer to your shoulder without lifting the shoulder to meet it. Maintain this position for 30 to 60 seconds, allowing the muscles to stretch and release tension, and then you repeat it on the left side. So I don't know if you can see that. I have company in here today. They don't know proper recording etiquette. But what you're going to do is before you turn your head, you're going to move your eyes. So I'll show you. So if I'm sitting like this, I'm going to go look this way, and then I'm going to tilt my head. Count. I mean, it said 30 to 60 seconds. I won't do it that long. And then you can put your eyes back and move your head up. And then you'll do your eyes again. Oh, man. I need to do this longer. My neck is still very tense right now. Very beautiful. All right. Thank you so much, Spirit, for that beautiful message. Let's go ahead and put that. I don't see anybody watching right now, so I may not be on here very long. Hi, if you'd like a personal reading, let me know in the chat. Happy to pull for you. No, we're going to have a repeat of it yesterday. People hop on and they're like, nope, not one reading. No, thanks. It's okay. I had fun 2 days ago. All right. Well, I'm not going to sit around all day. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Remember to like and subscribe. And, oh, there's somebody here. Would you like a personal reading before I jump off? If you do, let me know in the chat. You're gone. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. All right, guys, just remember, on this channel, I always encourage you to come as you are and stay as you become.